Hey, happy Thursday, October 15th, 2020. It's Myra. How's it going? It's going okay here. It's end of the week. Super tired. Still have lots more to do today, tomorrow, and throughout the weekend. I like to stay busy. So, I'm going to talk today about some little techniques I have in the kitchen with chicken broth. Totally southern, totally country. I love to do make extra prep food for like make big batches of stuff and freeze. So I'm gonna tell you how I make chicken stock for whatever, like several freezer bags full out of a whole chicken. That's what I'm going to tell you about. So anyway, I'm going to try and make it fast, and I'm planning on hopefully getting it set up to where I can put my camera in the kitchen and actually show step by step. It's not hard to do. It's not rocket science or anything, but some of the younger people may not get it, and I'd like to show little tips and tricks on how I do things, and it helps you save a lot of money. It's very healthy. It's easy. It's there ready, and frozen chicken broth is really simple to thaw out. So anyway, so my friend, my bestest bestie, calls me yesterday, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, I'm in the kitchen. What you doing in the kitchen? I'm making, what was I? Oh, I made chicken soup with vegetables. Not totally homemade. I cheated a lot, but I just threw some canned veggies and chicken and made like a several serving batch. I cooked it in the microwave and everything. But anyway, I told her I made it sound real good. I said I made some homemade chicken soup. And she was like, "Oh, And then I said, and she said, "What you doing?" I said, I've just put some apples in the oven. I'm baking some apples and cinnamon." And she goes, "What are you, Martha Stewart?" "No, thank you, my bestie. I'm Myra. I'm not Martha." Don't get them confused. But yeah. I did. I baked some apples and cinnamon yesterday for little snacks, and got my healthy chicken soup with carrots, peas, and I put some beans, some lima beans. We call them butter beans in the South. A lot of carrots, little bit of potatoes, and some white meat chicken. So I'm just going to say, I'm not expecting anybody to write this down, but maybe listen to it, get some ideas. You got to have some quart freezer bags and some gallon freezer bags. Probably more gallon freezer bags. Depends on how big your family is, I guess. So, and you got to get you a whole chicken. Now, if you don't like handling chicken, this is not for you, because this is all about taking the chicken apart, digging all in it, all that, tearing it up. All that is what it is. It's how it's good. It's the southern thing, I think. So, and just beforehand, so you know how this works in the freezer. If you have a freezer with the shelves that have like the wiry openings for the shelf unit, get you a little box or a plate or something and put across that, because when you go to freeze this liquid, it's going to kind of sag in between those wiry rack things, and then when you go to get it out, you can't get it out. So if you put like a pan, like a cookie sheet across, or maybe a little cardboard box, and get them set up in there. Once they freeze, you can take it out and just set them in your freezer alone. Okay, so get your big pot, and you can get a whole chicken, probably a young hen, unless you got a big pot, and you get a regular sized chicken. And all right, now I know a lot of you people got common sense, but some people don't. Some of you young kids that don't know how to cook yet. You turn the water on, get it, almost full. Don't fill it up, because when you put the chicken in, the water's gonna come up. But start heating your water up, and I like to put my chicken in and let the water boil as with the chicken in it, and you gotta watch it, because you don't want the bottom of your chicken to stick to the bottom of the pot and burn your chicken. So you kind of have to stay with it for a minute. Now, if you don't want to fool with the whole chicken, I guess you could go get some drums, some thighs, some quarters, and boil them down, however you want to do it. But the trick is, keep your water in there, because some of it's going to boil out, steam out, and don't let the water go down, because that's your broth. What was I gonna say? Oh, keep the water in it. Anyway, boil it till it's done. You might have to lower your boil too. It don't have to be like a rolling boil the whole time. It's gonna take a minute. Your chicken's done through and through when it starts falling apart in the pot. And you can like take a leg and pull it, and it'll just come right off. So boil your chicken. You don't have to have any seasonings. Not for this. I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could, but you add your seasonings when you go pull it out the freezer for whatever you're going to add your broth to in your chicken. Okay, so you boil it down. This is the fun part. You got to let it cool off. And I had a big family at home, but they're all gone out. They're grown and everything, so just for a smaller batch, you just do one. But if you could do two at a time. If you got two pots going, you do one, then do another one. But you got to take that chicken out. This is an easy way. You got to have a few big bowls, and put your chicken, and you got to have some tongs. Forgot to say that. You got to have some tongs and a big fork. Pull that chicken out and put it in a bowl, a big glass bowl or something. Then you pour your broth over into a bowl, and all that's got to kind of cool off, just so you can handle it. So then you debone your chicken, and it's got to be kind of cool, but it comes off the bone a lot easier when it's hot, but you don't want to burn your hands. So you debone your chicken into another bowl, and then you got your broth. Now, depending on your timing, you don't have, this takes a little while, but it's worth it. You might run over to wash a couple of dishes and let the chicken cool off or whatever, so the chicken broth may coagulate. The fat may come to the top, so you want to mix it up. Make sure the fat in the broth is a good even mixture. Okay, so this is what I like to do. Okay, this is why. You're going to take a marker, and you're going to write on your baggies ahead of time. You're going to write chicken broth with meat, and chicken broth with bones. Okay, because this is the thing. You might want chicken broth just to season up a meal, because you can use chicken broth you can actually use it in beef meals. It's so good when you want to stock up a beef meal. You can use chicken broth by itself. So you do a couple of those. I like to really do a couple of chickens, because while you got it all out and doing it, you might as well make a few bags. And then you get your meat that you've deboned, and you even it out in some bags. all the way through. You do a little bit of dark meat, a little bit of white meat, a little bit of dark meat, a little bit of white meat, all just little kind of just even it out in smaller amounts. Just don't, it's not going to be for like it could be for chicken soup, but really if you were making a chicken soup, you probably want a lot more chicken. This is more for like maybe chicken spaghetti, or gumbo. Anyway, and I leave the bones. I put the bones in the bag. I put the drumstick bone. I put the little bitty rib bones. I put everything, the gristle, everything in those baggies. Now, I'm from the South. Not all the people from the South do this, but that's where your flavor comes from. You got to be careful because those bones are little and they're sharp. So if you're not used to it, if you have little kids, you take the bones out when you get ready to serve whatever you're cooking, because you can pick them out. I know how to anyway, but if I'm cooking for myself and I know there's bones in there, I just leave all the bones because it just makes it taste so much better. That's where all your flavor's from. And believe it or not, nutrients. I had a pediatric doctor tell me, and I have 4 kids, and they've been through all the sinus, ear, throat, all that yucky cold stuff. And this old timer pediatric doctor gave one of my kids a prescription for antibiotics, and he said, but good old fashioned chicken soup has healing powers for some reason. He's like, for like ear stuff or cold, nasally, mucousy, bad stuff. So that's why they say, chicken noodle soup is good for the soul or whatever. So anyway, and then you just put all this in your freezer bags, however you want, however much you expect you might need for, however long. And then you might want to double bag them. I just do mine in one bag. And then I might put, if I do the quarts, I might put 2 in a bigger gallon bag, or I'll get a box just big enough to set them in so they don't fall over and bust open, or I might put clips on the top until they're frozen so they don't bust open. And sometimes you gotta be careful because if the bone's in there, it might bust a hole in the baggie. So then you have all kinds of chicken broth and stock for several, meals to come. You can do hamburger meat this way, you have to be careful with hamburger meat. You brown it and you put a little water, or you might want to make some kind of chili in a bulk and then make your several freezer bags full for, meals ahead of time. But we'll talk about that another day. But anyway, that's how I do my chicken. And I'm probably leaving something out. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And shout out to all my girls in jail who need some help. I told y'all, if y'all need me to make some phone calls, hit me up on Messenger. I know who to call. I know how to get you set up with sober living houses, 3/4 houses, halfway houses. Been working on all that. So anyway, I hope y'all have a good evening. I'm not struggling. I'm just busy. I'm being mom. If I look weary or if my posts sound weary, it's all good. Just, life. And I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to promote positive and all that good stuff. So I hope y'all, if y'all have any questions about the chicken stock, this is just something I've learned over the years, being in the South, worked in several restaurants, been around some really, really good chefs, family members, country folk. Oh my goodness, these country folk down here know how to cook some Southern food. So anyway, y'all have a good evening. Peace out. Love, Myra. Bye.